Hello everyone, this is Ahmed Jaghemi from the Palestinian schools in Doha, Qatar. Today I will explain to you Unit 13, Period 7. Let's get started. Introduction. Look at the picture. What's this? You are familiar with this book. What's this book? Yes, of course, it's a dictionary. Can you remind me with some of the usage for the dictionary? Good. To check the spelling of words. 2. To learn pronunciation of words. 3. To break the words into syllables. And 4. To see the parts of speech. Very good. Using a dictionary, finding meaning. Exercise 1, page 34. Read the dictionary entries, then find the two sentences which are true. Here, my students, we have two dictionary entries, and after reading them, you have three sentences. You have to read them correctly and focus so that you can decide which of them are true and which one is wrong. Are you ready? Okay, let's read the first dictionary entry. But. But is a conjunction. But is a word we use to introduce a different idea. Okay, to introduce a different idea. Examples: the food is tasty, but I don't want more. The second example: I like rice, but I prefer potatoes. The second dictionary entry. However is also a conjunction. However is a word we use to add something different. Examples: the food is tasty. However, I don't want more. The second example: I like rice and potatoes. However, I prefer bread. Okay, after reading the dictionary entries, let's read the sentences below them. The first sentence: both but and however can introduce a different idea. What do you think of that? Okay, the second one: we usually use but at the beginning of a sentence. What do you think? 3. We can use however at the beginning of a sentence or in the middle. Okay, I'll give you some seconds, then we will negotiate the answers together. Done, my students? Great. The two sentences which are true, of course, 1 and 3. Why? Because we don't usually use but at the beginning of a sentence. Number 2 is totally wrong. Is it clear, my students? Thank you. Writing skills. Joining ideas with however. You just learned that however is a conjunction. The conjunction is a word we use to add something different. Okay, my students? Exercise 2. In this exercise, you have to put sentences from A and B together. You have to put sentences from A and B together and join them with however. Here you have two lists. The first list A, and this is the second list. You have to join them using however. Are you ready? Let's first read the words from the both lists. A. Most people leave their plate or bowl on the table when they eat. 2. I want to go to a Chinese restaurant. 3. We ordered fish and rice. 4. I always drink tea with my breakfast. B. My mother prefers coffee. My mother doesn't like Chinese food. In China, it is normal to raise bowls to mouths. You gave us fish with potatoes. Okay, my students, I'll give you some time so that you can join those sentences using the conjunction however. Done, my students? Great. Let's take them one by one. The first sentence. Great. Most people leave their plate or bowl on the table when they eat. However, in China, it is normal to raise bowls to mouths. Very good. Number 2. I want to go to a Chinese restaurant. However, my mother doesn't like Chinese food. The third one. We ordered fish and rice. However, you give us fish and potatoes. 4. I always drink tea with my breakfast. However, my mother prefers coffee. Well done, my students. Now let's move to exercise 3. Listen and check your sentences. In this exercise, you only have to listen carefully so that you can check your answers. Are you ready? Let's get started.
1. Most people leave their plate or bowl on the table when they eat. However, in China, it is normal to raise bowls to mouths. 2. I want to go to a Chinese restaurant. However, my mother doesn't like Chinese food. 3. We ordered fish and rice. However, you gave us fish with potatoes. 4. I always drink tea with my breakfast. However, my mother prefers coffee.
Exercise 4, page 34. Now write the sentences use however. Writing skills using a comma after however. However is a conjunction. You have to put a comma after it. Whenever you use however, please put a comma after it. 1. Most people leave their plate or bowl on the table when they eat. However, in China it is normal to raise bowls to mouths. Notice the comma here after however. This example was taken from exercise 2, page 34. Look at those extra examples. 1. She is the best student in school. However, she doesn't do her homework on time. The second one. He was feeling very ill. However, he went to school. The third one. Some people disagree with this idea. However, it has never been proven right. Look, my students, there is a comma after each however in these sentences. Now write sentences 2, 3, and 4 from exercise 2, putting a comma after however. It's easy and clear, isn't it, my students? Yes, start please. And finally, my students, it is time to write. Exercise 5, working groups. Think and write sentences about table manners in Palestine. So you have to write sentences about what? About table manners in Palestine. Here you have 3 tips to help you write good sentences. Number 1, make a list of what you think are the important table manners in Palestine. You have to make a list of the ideas that you think are important about table manners in Palestine. 2. Think of a good sentence to start your passage. Here is an example of a good sentence. Table manners are important when you eat. Table manners are important when you eat. This is a good sentence to start with. Number 3. Write more sentences together. Example, first, make sure you wash your hands before you eat. Is it clear, my students? I hope that you have enjoyed the lesson and see you soon in another lesson. Thank you very much and have a nice day.